Welcome to the Strat-O-Matic Baseball Network. Jeffrey Guterman here with the 1969 baseball replay. Last game of July 31, 1969, third of a three-game series, Washington at Seattle. The clubs have split the first two games. It'll be Shellenback for Washington, a left-hander, and Brabender for Seattle, a right-hander. We'll have our opening lineups in just a couple minutes. This afternoon at 3 p.m. Eastern Time U.S., it will be the first game of August 1, 1969, and it will be Washington continuing their road trip on the West Coast against California. It'll be Bosman for Washington. And for Seattle, it will be, for California, it will be Rudy May. Two very good pitchers. I think the coffee is ready. We'll have our tweet up in 2 minutes. Follow me on Twitter for additional coverage of the Strat-O-Matic Baseball Network, the 1969 replay. His coffee's ready now. And now our starting lineups for the Washington Senators. Leading off and playing center field is Del Unsert. Batting second and right, Lee May. Batting third in left field, Frank Howard. Batting fourth at first, Mike Epstein. Bernie Allen bats fifth, at second base. Eddie Brinkman batting sixth at short. Zoilo Versalles, who is making his first appearance of the year at third base. I'll talk more about him later. Paul Casanova catching, batting eighth, and Jim Shellenback pitching, a left-hander for Washington, and batting ninth. And Kathy Harden has arrived. Thank you, Kathy. Meanwhile, on Twitter, the tweet is up, and the tweet is good. For the Seattle Pilots, leading off and playing right field, Tommy Harper. Batting second at third base, Ron Clark. Batting third in center, Wayne Comer. The cleanup hitter is Tommy Davis. In left field, Greg Goosen at first base. Jim Pagliarone bats sixth and catching. John Donaldson at second base. Ray Euler batting 8th, that's short. And the pitcher, Gene Brabender. There's a guy who probably had to learn how to fight when he was a kid. And the Seattle Pilots take the field. There's Gene Brabender on the mound. This is the final game of the 3-game series. Del Unser. What was funny, Razor? Did I miss something, or did I say something? I make wisecracks all the time. Unser leading it off, left-handed hitter against Brabender, the right-hander for Seattle. Washington comes into this in 3rd place, 18 behind Baltimore. Seattle in 5th place, 31 behind Minnesota. They're ahead of the Kansas City Royals and sneaking up on the Chicago White Sox. To let you know, I'll be compiling my stats, just home runs and wins, losses for pitchers. Monday is when I expect it to happen. And Unser at the plate, left-handed hitter. Here's Brabender now. Oh, okay, yeah, right. Okay, yeah, 1-8 base hit for Unser to start it off. A clean single by Unser to center field. Off of Brabender. Comer throws it in. Unser on first to lead it off. Here's Lee May. And we have Kathy Harden for the Senators. I want them also. Even though I'd like to see Seattle sneak up on Chicago in the West. Lee May at the plate. Brabender from the stretch. 5'8", he struck him out. Brabender gets May. And here's Hondo Howard. Unser with a short lead off first. 1 down from the stretch, Brabender. The pitch to Howard. 2-5. He struck him out. Brabender strikes out May, then Howard. 2 down. And here's Mike Epstein. Here's the pitch to Epstein. 2-8. Grounds it to second. Donaldson throws over to Goosen, and the side is retired. No runs. 1 hit and 1 left for Washington. And after a half an inning, it's Washington 0, Seattle coming to bat. And here comes Jim Shellenback, the Washington Senators pitcher, a left-hander, going against Seattle here. Bottom of the first, it's going to be Tommy Harper to lead it off. Okay, Shellenback is ready. Here's the pitch to Harper. 4-5. Fly ball right. That's for Lee May. He makes the catch. 1 down. Now Ron Clark, the number 2 batter for Seattle. That's good coffee. Wow. And here's Shellenback. The pitch to Clark. 1-3. Fly ball left. And Howard loves it. 2 down for Wayne Comer. Shellenback winds, and the pitch to Comer. That's 2-12, and it's a base hit to right. Lee May throws it in. Comer with a 2-out single here in the bottom of the first. He's a B, being held 1-8, and Tommy Davis is the batter. And the pitch to Davis. 4-5. Fly ball to right again. And Lee May makes the catch, and the side is retired. No runs, 1 hit, and 1 left, just like the Senators. And after 1, it's scoreless. This is the rubber game, folks. The Senators have worked themselves up back from a very poor start in April and May, and they finally got over 500, and they had a 12-game winning streak, and they've sort of leveled off recently, but they're still 3 games over 500. Being managed by Ted Williams, and Brabender is ready, and here comes Bernie Allen to lead it off for these Senators. That's good coffee. Here's Brabender now. The pitch to Bernie, 2-7. He walked him. Brabender walks Bernie Allen. He's on first to lead it off. Here's Eddie Brinkman now, a B bunter. Infield in on Brinkman for the bunt. So he's swinging away, 6-5. It's hit deep, and that's going to be in the gap for a double off Brabender. A double to right center. Bernie Allen goes to third. 1-12. 1-11. He'll hold. Second and third, nobody out. And here's Zoilo Versalles. He was the 1965 MVP for the Minnesota Twins, and I don't know what happened to him, because here he is 4 years later. Must be injuries. He only had 292 at bats, a 236 hitter. You know, he was the MVP in the season. Not that he had great numbers when he was MVP, but somehow he won the votes. But he gets the starting nod here. Second and third, nobody out. Infield is in on Versalles, and the pitch from Brabender. That's 5-3. Fly ball left. Going back is Davis. 13-4. Oh, that's a base hit for Versalles. Bernie Allen scores. Brinkman scores. A 2-run single by Zoilo Versalles here in the top of the second. That's a nice piece of hitting by Versalles. 5-3. Fly ball left. 13-4 is a base hit. Versalles on first. Still nobody out. And here's Paul Casanova. Shellenback comes out on deck. Here's the pitch to Casanova. 2-4. Fly ball left. Davis makes the catch. Versalles holds. 1 out. Now Jim Shellenback, the pitcher. A 1 WL. Here's the pitch to Shellenback. 2-8, struck him out. Third strikeout for Brabender. 2 down for Del Unser. Unser singled and was left on in the first. It's Versailles on first with 2 outs, 2 runs in. The pitch to Unser, 3-6, grounds it to first. Goosen steps on the bag, and the side is retired. But there were 2 runs for Washington on 2 hits, a walk, and 1 left on. After 1.5, Washington 2, Seattle nothing. Shellenback takes the mound with a 2-0 lead. And leading it off is Greg Goosen, the first baseman. Shellenback winds and the pitch. 1-3, and there's a base hit to left. Thrown in by Howard. Goosen with a leadoff single here in the bottom of the second. Jim Pagliarone is the batter. He's catching. Jerry McNertney gets a day off. Here's the pitch from Shellenback. That's 5-4. Fly ball center. Unser, a 2. 12-2. And he makes the catch. And Goosen holds. 1 down for John Donaldson. 4-8. Base hit to center. Goosen goes to second. He'll hold. He's a 1-8. Unser throws it in. First and second, 1 out for Ray Euler, the shortstop. Here's the pitch to Euler. 4-10. Flies to center. Unser has it. 2 down, and the runners hold. First and second, and Gene Brabender comes to the plate. A 1 NR. (5-7). Fly ball center again. Unser with his third put out of the inning, and the side is retired. No runs, 2 hits, 2 left. After 2, Washington 2, Seattle nothing. This is the Strat-O-Matic Baseball Network. My name is Jeffrey Guterman. Be sure to subscribe. You'll always be kept up to date. Put on notifications. Stay up to date on this replay. Brabender takes the mound. He allowed 2 in the second on a base hit by Versailles, bringing home Bernie Allen and Brinkman. He'll face May, Howard, and Epstein. Brabender gets the sign from Pagliarone. And the pitch to May. 2-7. Pops it up to second. Donaldson makes the catch. That's 1 away. May is 0 for 2. Here comes Frank Howard, the big man. Big man struck out in the first. And the pitch from Brabender. 6-7. Walked him. That's one way to pitch to Howard. Don't. So Howard, and by the way, that's how Howard suddenly became a prolific home run hitter. He wasn't prolific on the Dodgers. He'd hit 21 homers or so, but Ted Williams served as also a batting coach in addition to managing, and he taught Howard how to lay off shit pitches and force pitchers to throw strikes to him. So Howard on first with 1 out. Here's Mike Epstein. The pitch to Epstein. 1-5, struck him out. That's 2 down, the 4th strikeout for Mr. Brabender. 2 outs. And Bernie Allen walked and scored in the 2nd. Very neat ball game thus far. Bernie is a left-handed hitter. The pitch to Allen. 3-11. And he grounds it to third. Clark has it, throws to Goosen. And the side is retired. No runs, no hits, a walk to Howard. He was left on base, and after 2.5, it's still 2-0 Washington. Very, very nice ball game. We have an afternoon game. I'm sorry if I got people's hopes up of playing Strat-O-Matic all day. I get that feeling in the morning sometimes. I'm an extremist, you know. I once went outside. Actually, it was more than once. I'd go outside, and I'd be broadcasting. This was back when we had Periscope on Twitter. And I'd say, it's so beautiful out here this morning. I never want to go back inside. I want to stay out here forever. It's just a sort of an extremist position. Okay, Shellenback has allowed 3 singles, but they were all left on base. He'll face Tommy Harper, the top of the lineup for Seattle. He flew to right in the 1st. Pitch to Harper, 5-5, walked him. Oh, that's not a smart thing to do. Harper, Double-A, 1-15, being held 1-13 with Casanova. Here's Ron Clark. And the pitch to Clark. 4-8. Base hit to left. Harper will surely stretch this. 1-17. +3 Howard, they let him go. That would be 1-19. We don't do 20s in Strat-O-Matic. It's 1st and 3rd, nobody out for Seattle. Infield is double play depth for Wayne Comer. Shellenback. The pitch to Comer. That's 5-10. Catcher X. Casanova is a 2. That's 19-2. And that's a reroll. That's 6-2. It's a dribbler right in front of the plate. Casanova throws him out, but Harper comes home. Clark on second on that. It's a 2-1 ball game. Comer bringing home Harper with a little dribbler. Had the infield been in, it might have been another story. Here's Tommy Davis. 1 out with Clark on second. The pitch from Shellenback. 4-6. He walked him. 1st and 2nd now with 1 out. Second walk this inning for Shellenback. Here's Greg Goosen, who has a mighty bat. The pitch from Shellenback. 3-7. Fly ball center. Unser makes the catch, and the runners hold. 2 outs, 1st and 2nd, and Jim Pagliarone flew to center. .48. Base hit to left. This might score Clark. Howard's a +3, my lord. Clark rounding third. My lord. 1 to 13, 2 outs, 1 to 15. They let him score. 1 to 18. Runners hold though, and it's a tie ball game. So Shellenback gets hit for 2 runs here. It's first and second, 2 out, and now John Donaldson is the batter. Tagliaroni, clutch single to bring home the tying run. Here comes Donaldson now. Singled in the second, was left on. The pitch from Shellenback. 2-10. And he grounds it back to Shellenback, who throws him out, and the side is retired. But there were 2 runs for Seattle on 2 singles, 2 walks, and 2 left on. And after 3, we're tied at 2. Gene Brabender. Now, there's a guy who probably learned how to fight as a kid. Sorry if I'm overusing that, Mr. Razor. Eddie Brinkman will lead it off. He doubled and scored in the second. It's a 2-2 ball game. Leading it off for the Senators is Eddie Brinkman facing Brabender. Here's Brabender now. The pitch to Brinkman. 6-6. That is a base hit for Brinkman. His second hit of the game. He doubled and scored, now he's singled. He's the go-ahead run. Zoilo Versalles now. Singled in 2 runs in the second. And the pitch to Versalles. 6-6. And that's another base hit. Brinkman will go to third on that. So the Senators have something going here in the top of the 4th. First and third, nobody out. Casanova comes up. Infield is in. He flew to left. The pitch from Brabender. 4-7. Base hit! Just past the reach of the third baseman, Ron Clark. Brinkman scores. Versalles goes to second. It's 3-2 Washington. And Casanova with a run batted in. First and second, still nobody out. And here comes Shellenback. He struck out in the second. I don't think you'd mind if I refreshed my coffee, would you? I don't think that's a lot to ask of people. I really don't. I try to be reasonable, but, you know, come on. And Gigi has arrived. Good morning to Gigi. We welcome you here on the Strat-O-Matic Baseball Network. Jim Shellenback is due up here, first and second, no outs. Top of the 4th, 1 in, 3-2 Washington. these same Washington Senators will be playing the California Angels in the first game of a series on August 1. This is the last game of the 31st of July. Right here on SBN at 3 p.m. Eastern U.S. time. It'll be Bosman for Washington, their ace. And Rudy May, a very, very fine pitcher. Well, Brabender is ready from the stretch to pitch to Shellenback. 3-4, grounds it back to Brabender to second to first, double play. Versailles goes to third, but it's two-way now. And here's Del Unser. That's correct, Gigi. He's also a very good hitting coach for the team. He did both. Like I was saying, he taught Frank Howard to lay off shit. And that's when he started hitting 45 home runs a year or so. When he was with the Dodgers, he'd swing at anything. Okay, here's the pitch to Unser. 6-10. It's a fly ball to center. Routine. Comer makes the catch and the side is retired. But there was one run for the Senators on 3 consecutive singles. One left on in the middle of the fourth. 3-2 Washington over Seattle. We move to the bottom of the fourth. And here's Shellenback. Now ahead in the game. He'll face Euler, Brabender, and Harper in the Seattle fourth. Ray Euler, the shortstop, right-handed hitter, against the southpaw Shellenback. Here's the pitch to Euler. 3-9, and that is a base hit going through and past Epstein. Epstein could not get that, so Euler is on. And Gene Brabender comes up to the plate. He's a C bunter. They'll let him bunt if he wants. They're not pulling the infield in, though. Here's the pitch. Oh, he lays it down. Oh, Lord. 10C. That does not look right. It's hit back to Shellenback, who forces Euler at second. So it's one out now. Brabender on first. Well, it's better than a double play, right? Here's Tommy Harper with Brabender on first, one down. Harper flew to right, walked and scored. Here's Shellenback. The pitch to Harper, 1-6, and that's a ground ball to second, and that'll be a double play. The side is retired. No runs, one hit, none left. After 4, 3-2 Senators over the Pilots. We head to the top of the 5th. Brabender has allowed 3 runs in 4 innings. Lee May, Frank Howard, and Mike Epstein. A tough 1-2-3 punch in this lineup. Here's Brabender now. The pitch to May, 0 for 2. Whoa, 6-4. Fly ball right. Under it is Harper, and that's one away. Here comes the big man. Big man, 0 for 1 with a walk. Struck out and walked today. And he's really a big man. It's like 6'6" or 6'7", something like that. Here's the pitch to Howard. 3-5. Base hit to left for Howard. It's kind of funny seeing Howard get a innocent little single. But he's hitting the ball very well. It's Howard on first, one out, and here comes Super Drew. Mike Epstein. That was his nickname. I'm Jewish, so I'm not trying to make any slurs. But that's that. I don't know if that would be politically correct today, but he was called Super Jew. So Howard on first, one down. Epstein 0 for 2. The pitch from Brabender. 4-4. Grounds it to third X. That's going to be Clark. He's a 3. 13-3. And he forces Howard at second base. So it's 2 outs, and Epstein is on first for Bernie Allen. Bernie is a left-handed hitter. Walked and scored, grounded to third. The pitch to Bernard, 6-3. Hit deep by Bernard, way back. And that's gone. A 2-run home run by Bernard Allen. Oh my, let's look at that again. Bernie really got a hold of one. It was a 6-3 against a left-hander, 1-9. Does he have the power? Yes, he frickin' does. And it's an 18, just cleared the fence. Bernie Allen with a 2-run home run. And that makes it 5-2. Senators. And he would have been the less likely person, I would think, to hit a home run than Howard and Epstein, but he did. Boy, did he hit that off Brabender. And here's Eddie Brinkman, 2 for 2. Doubled and scored, singled and scored. It's a